Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some great boy band conversation. As always, my name is Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, a.k.a. Mama Lou.
All right, so as promised, we have our review of the sort of Pop 2000 kind of, I think officially ParkJam concert that we went to last weekend. If you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, we put tons of content up there. But before we get to that, something very exciting happened last Friday. And now everyone's looking at me like they're insane.
Oh,
but you all know what it is.
I know what it is.
Laundry.
Lydia might not know what it is.
Well, she does because we sent it to her. So unless she's
Aaron?
like,
Is it about Aaron?
No.
no, it's not about Aaron.
I mean, I don't know.
The band he's adjacent to.
Backstreet?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
They released a new song with Steve Aoki called "Let It Be Me."
Let it be me.
Let it be me.
It's not how it goes.
Oh
but
my
sure.
god!
how it goes now.
Cool.
It's
Part of it goes like that.
Who's Steve Aoki?
Not in that tune.
He's a
Aoki.
DJ.
Well, if
With
it was
long hair.
DJ Khaled, then it would be a little bit more. But okay, good for them, BSB. Well done.
It's a good song. It's
I was
it's very
like,
Nick
it's
and Howie
upbeat.
heavy, which is great. And a lot of people are complaining. And I was like, screw you. Let Howie sing. Thank you.
Yeah, so my question was literally going to be, what do you think of the song? What do you think of the video? Lydia clearly has not heard it or watched it.
They look
Sorry.
very good in the video.
So when I first listened to it, I was like, oh, I need to listen to it a few more times before I got into it. But after a while, I did enjoy it. And I think the song is good. I think the video is very nice and has a beautiful message. So good job, boys and Steve Aoki.
Do you want me to pause this podcast so you can listen to the video?
No.
Okay, it's a good video. It's a good song. Has a good message. So it's kind of like...
What's the message? See my job.
Of acceptance.
So it's kind of like the opposite
that's
of
better.
"Don't Go Breaking My Heart." It was just like it's saying
Please
to break your heart,
repair
pretty
my
much.
heart.
So let
The
it be
video
me.
is very like
Be yourself.
be
it's
yourself.
okay to be yourself.
It's okay to be around me type thing. Like
I feel that the message of the song and the message of the video aren't really matching. The message of the song, the song is a love song. Essentially, the chorus is like, if you're going to hurt someone, then let it be me.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But
But the video is...
but the
is
video
definitely
follows
more
like
three couples,
four
couples.
Yeah, I want to say 4.
There's an older couple and the wife has cancer, I think.
Oh,
yes.
God.
There's a
had
a lesbian
Oh.
couple and the
Oh,
mom
dude.
disowned.
no,
she's
she's
alive.
alive.
She's
Oh,
alive.
that's-
She survived.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
She beat it, is what we should be saying.
Oh.
There was a lesbian couple where the mom didn't accept that the daughter was a lesbian, and then there was
a transgender person, formerly a man, now identifying as a woman, who,
Is also
was like,
the-
oh, I don't know what, whatever people think about me. And then there was a deaf guy
yes.
who
Yes, so there's 4 couples
was
who
like,
found
oh,
love.
I didn't think anyone would ever love me because I'm deaf.
Yes.
What?
So essentially, it's a very good feel-good
dick.
music video. Giving you Lydia the finger right now.
Thank you, Jim.
Yes, and the song's good. It's a good song. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Well done, BSB.
I'm surprised, though. I'm actually surprised that you guys like it as much as you do, personally, because I just I was remembering back when we did the DNA album review.
Yes, it's a bit slow.
And no, it was not because it's slow at all.
Okay.
I was just thinking in terms of like musicality, it reminds me of "Don't Go Breaking My Heart," which I'm not saying you didn't like. You obviously like that
I could
song.
have sworn I put number 1
But-
for Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
That may have been me. I'm not that
No, no.
kind of pussy.
No.
It was like a weird, like,
The one that I
two
hated was the Sex Toys
smooshed
one.
together.
No, can you let me
Yes.
finish?
Sorry.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
just ever get a thought out?
Yes,
No.
please.
Remember we were ranking the singles, and you guys were like, "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" is my least favorite, and I love No Place. And I was like, I'm the opposite. "Don't Go Breaking My Heart" is my favorite, and I don't really like No Place. So I was like, I'm sure they'll like it, but I was surprised at how much you liked it. So that's good, I guess.
Happy surprise.
Yes, pleasantly
They look very
surprised.
good in the video.
I
Just saying.
agree. They always
And,
look good.
my
in
2
suits.
favorites have a lot of singing in it, so I feel like that really helps as well.
Chris Kirkpatrick's in it.
This guy.
Zinga.
All right, so that's that. Go check it out. I believe it's available like on all the like streaming services and the videos on YouTube. And I'm sure if you follow Backstreet Boys on any kind of social media, you can find it there.
We might have posted it.
And
too.
I feel that we also posted it on our social media. So
We did.
Unless you don't go on social media, then you should have seen it and heard it by now.
But you heard it through our voices, so go.
So go.
Oh, Lydia. All right.
Anyways, moving
along.
on. So cool. What?
ParkJam. Okay,
go ahead.
so September 8th, we went to this. It was in London, Ontario, Canada. It featured Wannabe, which was a Spice Girls tribute.
The longest set ever. I'm sorry. It
The
was
longest
like an
set
hour.
ever was then Aaron Carter.
That was also bad.
Then it was O-Town.
Please, can you hold up? Were they all the same length? I think they were
think
all
they
an
were
hour.
all about
It's
an
just
hour.
Some felt longer than
Okay,
others.
maybe that's what it was. Because that was pretty long.
O-Town, and then 98 Degrees, and then Lance Bass from NSYNC was hosting it. So when I found out about this a few months ago, I was like, oh my God, this is like my dream. And it's the day before my birthday, so we're going to go. So we ended up being, Lydia did not want to come.
No,
even though she loves Aaron.
Even though she loves Aaron, and even though I said I would pay for her ticket.
I have like a love-hate relationship. By the way, I was hungover from your birthday party, so
Yes.
I would have been a mess.
When you're all
Lightweight.
drinking Grey Goose vodka and dancing around a circle, then yes. So
I was fine.
Well, I don't know. I was weak. I'm getting
Lydia
old.
normally just takes a sip of wine and then she's gone, and you had like
Yeah, way too much.
Oh my God, you had way more than you usually do. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was pretty bad.
So that's why I didn't go. But I felt like I was there because you guys kept sending me Aaron Carter videos.
I sent you
And I think we
pictures
actually
and
FaceTimed
videos.
you at
We
one point.
did.
Yes, you
during
did. It
as
was
well.
wonderful.
So yes, thanks to everybody who came to my party the day before. So then also joining Sophia, Diane, and myself was Brian from our previous episode where we had male boy band fans. So this was our first concert with Brian, and our friend Josh. So Josh also came, so he drove, and so it was kind of interesting because I don't think we've ever actually gone to a concert with guys before. Because we don't have boyfriends.
Not a boy band concert.
And yes, and so it was kind of interesting to see their perspective as well. So good times had. So where are we going to start there?
Where would you like to start? I feel like we don't need to talk about the Spice Girls tribute. That was whatever.
Pretty much most of my attention was looking at Baby Spice because she was not wearing a bra and wondering if her boobs
we
were
should
gonna
start
escape.
with your Lance meet and greet.
Yes, we
because that
should.
was like chronologically
Yes.
the first thing that happened.
So we were running late. Oh, we stopped for lunch.
We weren't
dinner
really
at
running
Five
late,
Guys
but
because that's first of all like my favorite burger restaurant
Because
we
of
have
the
fresh-
peanuts. Yeah.
Because of the free peanuts, the fresh jalapenos, and Five Guys, and there's 5 members in a boy band. So I just felt like it was very.
Is that why you like Five Guys?
Yes, it is.
Oh God.
Then I stole the free
Brian
peanuts.
also loves Five Guys.
Brian
From the
had never-
Backstreet
no,
Boys.
Brian had never been to Five Guys before.
From the Backstreet Boys.
Brian from the Backstreet Boys. Yes, sorry.
I feel like there's like a wanted poster. There's like stolen peanuts because like you like fill up
In
your
the
purse,
States,
man.
apparently you can just take the peanuts and ask them.
I literally don't think they care.
There's signs
Shinji
saying don't
literally
remove peanuts
took
from
a
his
whole like
premises.
box of it and put it in that like fry box.
but
and
okay,
then-
maybe that's just like for legality purposes. Like maybe
It
you
is,
just
it
have
is.
to put that
I've
up.
asked for peanuts in the past, and they said we can't give them to you.
because it's
take
like
So that's
hazard.
why half of the joy of going to Five Guys is stealing these peanuts, and it's amazing.
It's like
Shinzi
a
is a
top
klepto.
secret, like black ops mission. We got like the
Got,
paper
like-
bag, and then the trays, and then like the distraction while
Yes,
the
it's
I
good
put here.
times. Guys, it's good times.
All
Okay.
right, all right.
Anyways, I had a Five Guys birthday shoot 2 years ago when I had like the cake smash. That was a that was like a cake.
yes, she did.
Yes, I did in the works. Anyways, so we get there, and there's of course London is under construction as always. We couldn't figure out where the heck we had to go. Finally got it. As I'm opening the door, the friggin' peanuts fall out, and I lose half of them on the street, like literally in front of these people
my
who are laughing
God.
at me. I'm like,
And there were these two people laughing at her as she's running down
So,
the
imagine you're these two people walking down the street. A van comes to an abrupt start. A girl opens the door, flies out. A bunch of peanuts come flying into the streets, and she's like, "Fucking peanuts!" and then closes the door and runs
I
off.
threw
It was
peanuts.
great.
Die.
It was they were laughing.
so funny.
Then I'm like running down this stupid hill because like you can't because it's blocked off this road, trying not to like fall out my boobs and then also not to fall down the hill because I'm not very athletic. But then finally made it down there. Then nobody knew what the heck was going on. They gave me a VIP wristband even though I wasn't supposed to have one. And then finally we get ready and we go to this thing. And I run into these girls that I've seen in Toronto, and I've forgotten their names again already. But also at the Lance thing, there was a girl from Ohio and her name was Liz, and she's done a bunch of these. So in the States, it's called the Pop 2K Tour. And usually 98 Degrees is not with them. It's usually just Aaron, O-Town, Lance, and like Ryan Cabrera or Tyler Hilton or something like that. So we didn't have those guys. So we're like, that's fine. So anyway, so she's gone to a bunch of shows. So her name was Liz. And then I met this other girl. Her name was JJ. And she actually, so there's 4 levels of Lance meet and greet. So there's like the basic, like just meet him and take a picture and get an autograph. Then there's like have drinks with Lance, which is an extra $200, which is the same as the first tier, except you get like shots with him. And I'm like, I don't drink. And I don't think that's worth $200. Then my dream was the $500 level, which is not $500, is more because there's all like fees and stuff and it's American money. So when you convert it, you almost die. But that's the roadie one. So you actually get to like hang out with Lance backstage the entire time, like take pictures with him, like get stuff for him, like, I don't know, like if he needs an outfit or carry things for him and stuff like that.
Get my dry cleaning.
So like essentially that's like you get to hang out with him the entire night, which ergo means you get to meet all the other boy bands because they're like walking. You get to go on stage and introduce a band with him. Like it's a pretty good package. So if it was any cheaper, I would have been like, hell yeah, let's do it. But then
$499.
Oh man,
No thanks.
So like if I can go on a Backstreet Boys cruise for the amount of money that I can like go on, like it's kind of. You know,
valid point.
Got to put things into perspective here. So, and then there was the $1,000 dinner thing. So you get dinner with him. So that one's limited to 2 people.
And steaks.
It doesn't even like specify that Lance is picking up the tab. It just says you get to go to dinner
I'm
with him.
pretty sure
like,
he $1,000. He's going to pick up the tab. Like how expensive
be doing that?
Restaurants
it
in
doesn't
London
specify.
So, anyways, did not do. So nobody did that one, and then JJ was the only one who did that, and then there was also Rula, she also came, and so there was for the meet and greet. So as we were getting there, and Melinda runs it, and Melinda actually used to work with NSYNC way back in the day, because at one point I was just like, are you the same Melinda? She's like, yes, I am. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. So we got our wristbands, and then we got there, and Lance wasn't there yet. So we were just kind of waiting. And Liz was talking about how she had the O-Town meet and greet, but it was early. And because she was coming from Ohio, she like didn't get there in time and she missed it. So as we're chatting, Trevor comes by. So Trevor's like, hey, and gives her a hug because obviously she's done a bunch of these.
Trevor from O-Town.
Trevor from O-Town. So they're like chatting and hugging and stuff. And then I believe it was Rula was like, hey, where's our hugs? And he's like, oh, okay. So then Trevor gave us all hugs and we're like, okay, awesome. And then he went back to talk to Liz. And at this point now Lance has come out, but we're all looking at Trevor. So Lance is just awkwardly standing behind JJ. I'm like, okay. So then eventually he decides, okay, Trevor's like, oh, sorry, I'm in your meet and greet. I'll go later. So then he took off. So then we were like talking to Lance and we all got our pictures with him. But then O-Town's people grabbed Liz to go do her meet and greet because she missed it. So whatever. So she was fine. So then she came back. So what I really liked about Rula, which is pretty cool, is that she had a baggie of confetti with her to use in the picture. I was like, that is genius. Why have we not done this before? Probably because we do it at indoor arenas, and I'm pretty sure Mike would kill us if we did it at a Backstreet Boys event.
Isn't like
He won't even let us to bring a piece of Bristol board with writing on it. I don't think.
If it was before they took away our Bristol boards, then maybe.
Granted,
We could have done it in Ottawa.
if we had pockets, we could just put the glitter in our pockets and at
And
the
then just
last
go
second just be like,
Oh my gosh, we need to do that now.
And then we'll be banned from all future meet and greets. But this
glitter
worked
is
out.
the herpes of
It was-
the crafting world.
But it was like really
We'd have to
nice.
go
It was like the
last,
NSYNC
like, make
star.
sure
It
we're
was like
last.
it was good. So we were there. Aaron Carter kept coming by and like hopping over the fence around us. We like waved and he seemed to be in good spirits. We saw Eric, Michael Estrada go by. So he didn't come over. So it was okay. So we had some good times. So then we're like chatting and Lance was like, okay, does anybody have any questions? So like JJ asked a question, which I recorded, and then my phone died because my phone is a piece of crap. And
Did you get a new phone yet?
I did not. I will be getting one soon. So so I couldn't record my stuff. So then Lance is like, okay, anybody else have any questions? So I'm like, so when are you getting back together? And then he's like, ha 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 ha. And he's like, oh, I guess got to make some phone calls. I'm like, you only need to make 3 phone calls. Not all of them need to be there. And then they're like, well, and I was just like, listen, you guys can get back together without Justin. And then they're like, whoa. And I'm like, come on, seriously, like you'll sell out, no problem. So we were like chatting and I was just talking about my hatred of Justin and I had given out our podcast cards and they're cracking up. And then I was like, okay, I gotta ask you something. And he's like, okay. I'm like, I have a lot of hatred for Justin for many reasons, but one of the most is that I am so I am so annoyed that you didn't get to go to outer space. And he's like, I am way more annoyed than anyone in the world that I didn't get to go. And I'm like, understandable, but can you let me know if my hatred towards Justin is valid or not? Or when I tell the story, everyone's like, is it justified? Yes. And Lance goes, okay. I was just like, so seriously, like, is it all his fault? He's like, it's not 100% his fault. And I was like, but it was mostly his fault. And he's like, and he didn't really want to commit to this. So I was like, okay. So he was saying, yes, Justin called me back from Russia. Like, if I had the extra 4 months, whatever, we had to make the band. He's like, but it wasn't just Justin. It was like the management team and everybody called me back. And I go, did you not have the proper funding? Because originally we heard you had the funding, then it said that you didn't have the funding. Like, he's like, we were 100% funded. Like, we had that $20 million. Like, we had Paul Mitchell, and he starts naming all these other like brands that had.
I think Pepsi was involved too, wasn't
Pepsi.
it?
He was like talking about all these other brands that had paid. So he had the money. Because I was like, if you didn't have the money, we 100% would have funded you back in the day. Like, we got a GoFundMe up there. Like, we'd get this going. And then Melinda's like, there was no GoFundMe back there. I'm like, no, but the NSYNC army was so big back then that we would have funded.
Stop stealing army from Backstreet Boys.
God, I can't remember what the NSYNC fans were called. What were the NSYNC fans called?
NSYNC militia.
Lydia, what were the NSYNC fans?
Amazing.
The NSYNC fans would have done it. And then she's like,
Armory.
yeah. So I'm like,
I'm kidding.
anyways, so we were like chatting about that, and then he's like, no, we had the money. He's like, the main problem is because they were doing a documentary, they didn't have, they needed insurance, and apparently no insurance companies insure spaceships from Russia or any of them. So that was their problem. So, but if they would have had a little more time, they probably could have worked it out and figured it out. But that was it. So then in conclusion, I'm like, so I can still be mad at Justin? He's like, he's like, sure, buddy, whatever. And I was like, because I still hate him. He's like, okay. So then we like talked a bit more.
It's nice to find out the truth, though.
So yeah, it was good to know. So they did have the money. They had that. And then I asked him about the HGT. Somebody else asked him, I think, about the HGTV.
Oh, the Brady Bunch house?
And I was like, how pissed were you like about that? And he was like, I was so mad. He's like, but I guess they're going to be in an episode, or they're in an episode.
Who, Lance?
Lance and Michael.
Oh, okay.
And I think he said something about doing something like digital or something. And I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, they probably only got you on the show because to shut you guys up because you're so pissed off. And he's like, yes, 100%. That's got to be the reason. So anyways, because there was just 4 of us there, he was just shooting the shit and chatting. And it was like a really good thing. And then we decided at the end we were going to do. So then Liz had come back because she had missed some of it. And then so she did her picture. And then we decided we were going to do a group shot where we're all throwing the confetti up in the air because there was a whole bunch left over. So we did that. So that was fun. So we did that. And then then Lance left. And then Aaron was kind of there. And I was trying to get him to come over. And he was eating like ketchup chips and stuff. And then he was waving. I'm like, dude, come over. And then he wouldn't come over. So I was like, damn it. I could have had a free Aaron Carter meet and greet.
Like a cat. It's like, come here. No.
I'm like, here's my card. Oh, and then I gave him the card. Oh, and then Brian had also given me a letter to give to them about the boy band play. Oh my gosh.
Brian's
You want it
Brian's
what way?
play. You want it what way? Boy band tale. So he had written a letter to Lance and also had like the thing. So I gave that to him. So Lance said he would look at it. So that's pretty cool. So because he wanted him to know about the show. So yeah, it was good. So it was good times, and then we came out, and then I ran into them, and they were
Wait, you forgot the part about the glitter part. Where did it go up?
in the air.
Where did the
Also
video
your
go up?
nostrils?
Oh, okay. So then she ended up she sent us the video, but then Lance also put it on his Instagram.
There we go.
On his Instagram story. So it was like us throwing the confetti.
Were you
up
able
in the
to
air.
save that?
Yes.
Okay.
G was
That's
able to
good.
save it for me, but
Oh,
then
nice.
Melinda ended up sending us the actual video. So I guess we could put that on our. We'll put it up on our boy band thing.
Excellent. I'm glad.
But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. So it was. I highly recommend doing Lance meet and greets if you have that chance. So there you go. So then
Chance for Lance.
the chance for Lance, highly recommended. And then and our wristband said NSYNC Pop Odyssey 2001.
Aww.
So it's just like I wonder if these wristbands are actually like
Probably
18
left over.
years old, or did they just reprint these?
If they're 18 years old, whoever saved those for 18 years is like dedicated, man. Like they got some space in their garage.
It's good stuff.
Yes.
Yes, it was good. I was actually just surprised there wasn't more people there, but I feel like they didn't really advertise the meet and greets as well. Because a couple of any of them, because a couple of our friends were there too, and they're like, "How did you get the Lance meet and greet?" I'm like, "I bought it." Like, so I feel
don't
like
know.
Can you
it's just
buy it
like
on site as
No.
well? Okay, so
no,
this is
and
the
they
thing.
closed it down a few days before.
But I feel like it's like anything else. Like people ask me like about like how did you meet the Backstreet Boys, whatever, and I'm like, you pay money and whatever. But I just think people.
Essentially, what I did is I just Googled the bands and the show and saw if a VIP
Yeah, but it's
came
all
up.
on their website, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm
well,
sure,
Lance doesn't have a website. It was an Eventbrite thing. So
yeah, but I'm sure he posted
I
it on
think he
his Twitter
posted about
and
it on
stuff.
socials and stuff.
So I'm like, as long as you follow them on social media, and I mean, I know it's hard to keep up sometimes, but I'm like, I don't think it's really that hard to find if you're interested in finding it.
I was disappointed that 98 Degrees didn't do one, but
Yeah, me too.
they were coming straight from Nova Scotia, I think, or Newfoundland the day
Moncton,
before.
Something like
wherever
that,
that
yeah.
is.
Okay, so they were coming the day before, so I figured they probably flew in at a weird time that they wouldn't have been able to do their meet and greets.
That's what I kind of think too, because I was, that would have been one I would have been curious to do because I've never met 98 Degrees.
Me
but-
neither. Have you?
I
we have.
yes.
They're lovely people. We didn't meet. Like,
I never Nick Lachey.
We haven't met Nick
Yeah.
Lachey, but the Drew and Jeff.
But as a
and
group, it
Justin
would have been
are
nice
awesome,
to
yeah.
meet them all
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
What you
Mama,
gonna
what you
do?
gonna do?
Anyway, so I joined them. They were there. They were like second row. Our friend Deli, who we meet at O-Town
them is
events,
us.
was there.
Yes.
You were. So now you are in the picture. So now we're like
Yes.
hanging out.
So like I said, we don't
What
really
did you
need-
do while you were waiting for me? Could you see me from where you guys were?
No, but we did see Aaron Carter like go on the stage, and he looked kind of angry, but it was kind of hard to tell as well.
He was in an interesting mood.
Yes.
I mean, at this point, though, when this podcast is going up, he was on the
Doctors.
and
Is that?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I thought the Doctors you recorded like 2 years ago.
No, this is an
This is a
update.
new
It was
one.
like 2 years to the day of him going into rehab.
Oh, okay.
and
That's a whole
essentially
nother
they're
story.
like they said that he's like manic depressive and he's like bipolar and schizophrenic and stuff. So like literally,
Makes sense.
probably shouldn't be talking shit about him because he has some serious problems.
And
But-
the concert kind of like brought it up, like, oh, okay, this also makes sense.
So we did the Spice Girls. They did their thing. We had Brian helped I made a sign for him that said "I'm single and straight," and Posh like winked at him, and he was very excited about that. And then other people, things were happening in the crowd. We were looking at other people.
That
It's all
part
good.
wasn't super interesting.
Not
I
very
mean, we were
interesting.
mostly
So
just
then-
socializing, right?
Then I got a cone of pizza. It was pretty delicious.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And also painful. Yes, I did because then I had to
I
go to
thought
the
that was
bathroom.
after
She bought, like, 5
Aaron.
things.
No, it was before Aaron because I didn't think I'd be able to come back. So then I went to the bathroom after the Spice Girls, got all this stuff, carried like 1,000 waters and things, froze my arms. It was good times. Anyways, I was a little angry for a bit.
To be fair, when you left, you said, "Does anyone want anything?" And no one responded except for me. And I was like, "Get some water." And she was like, "Cool." And she left. So I was like, "Okay, she's just literally going to get water and come back." And then, after she went to the bathroom, she's like, "Does anyone want anything?" And then everybody's like, "Yes, I would like this and this and this."
And they had the waters; they had to take the caps off. So I'd already
oh my
bought
god, I
this
hate that.
steaming hot pizza cone of like molten lava, and then Josh wanted like an icy, and then I needed to get a can
so
of
that-
Coke. Then I needed 2 waters.
And I was like,
and
how
then
is she
I'm
gonna
like,
carry all this shit?
And
She's
then
alone.
they took the lids off the water, and I'm like, okay, let me try not to spill this shit. And then it was good times.
I know.
fine.
And then I was
I
like,
was a bit
"Well,
annoyed.
this is going to be interesting, but whatever."
It's good times. Anyway, so then we were there. So then Aaron came out and he started off good. So he had like his little, Diane's face means other. Okay.
I want to tell you what
I
happened.
know he's
didn't
very
start
polarized.
off that
he
great,
had his
buddy.
own little like laptop and he like DJs his own set.
Like I said, I don't want to talk shit about someone who literally has like mental health problems, but like he literally has mental health problems. And I was closer than Shinzia
Yes.
because I was,
Second row and I was third row.
but I was literally scared that he was going to see that I was not enjoying it.
Uh-oh.
So we switched
And so
spots.
I was like, "Oh my god!" And then Shinzi was like, "Just change spots with me." And I was like, "Okay, thank you," because I still
you never know what's
at
gonna
this
happen,
point,
right?
it was still daylight out. So this was probably around like 5 or 6?
I think
I wanna say 6, maybe?
No, I think he went on at 7.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's summer. It's
Oh,
still
yeah,
light out.
something like that. Yeah,
so it was still light out and stuff. So he came out and he did like I Want Candy and like How I Beat Shaq and stuff. But then he did a lot of his new music. That's very EDM like.
And
What's
nobody
EDM?
knows this
Electronic
music.
dance music, is that what it
Yeah,
stands
yeah,
for?
yeah.
So it has
but
like the
nobody knows
beats
the
and stuff,
words.
but nobody has the words. So Aaron was all like, okay, and he's like, honestly, his mood started off good, like he was in a good mood. Then during the show, at one point, he said like "Bye Felicia" to somebody.
He didn't like
And
our
then-
cheering.
I think
Every time he's
the
like,
Bye
"Oh,
Felicia
so."
Was a joke, maybe?
No, he was talking about how
His
all these
ex-girlfriend?
no.
The media.
Diane, go ahead, please. I'm interested in hearing.
he was talking about how all the record labels didn't want to sign him. And then after his, what's that not good song that
Fool's Gold.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
the
Fool's
one.
Gold.
Okay, after Fool's Gold came out, then they all wanted to sign him again. But he was like, bye, Felicia, because they didn't want to sign him before, and then he just signed with wherever the hell he is now. Sony, I want to say.
I think he's with Sony.
Who knows?
But didn't Sony like drop him?
I
think
don't know.
So a lot of his thing was him playing the new music and then him shouting out stats about how many streams his Spotify had and stuff like that.
Yeah, he does that.
But they're not real.
What do you mean?
And then
The
we were
things that-
fact checking. Nobody actually fact checked, but
You can fact check it. I'm 90% sure it's not true.
honestly, I went to the show and I
It's
wanted
not
to do an Aaron
possible.
meet and greet.
What do you mean?
It was like he got 1 million listens in like
If
a
he was
day or
that
something.
popular, then he wouldn't be this like obscure, and he wouldn't be opening for O-Town. If his stats, the way that he said it, were real, why are you opening for O-Town? O-Town doesn't even have those stats.
Well, the
Shouldn't
thing is,
you be the headliner then?
the stats he's referring to is the streaming stats, and like that's not like how traditional pop music is ranked usually. Like, because this is like new, right? Because like
Yeah,
normally
no.
you have like the Much Music or like Billboard charts or the iTunes charts, right? iTunes is getting phased out, so there's like streaming is like the new thing, but it doesn't mean like it's not monetized the same way, right? So
Well,
like
he claims that he has lots of money.
Well,
okay.
and whatever. I don't
could.
even. Maybe he does have money. I don't know. I don't. That's
And I
not
understand,
my.
What
like-
happened to the house party, Aaron? I want to know.
No, but I agree. Like I agree that streaming is a new way of that people get music, but I think like concert promoters know this, right? So if Aaron Carter legitimately has that many streams, why is he not headlining his own tour? Like, it's not like we're not geniuses for knowing this. Everyone knows this.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, I hear you.
Like,
Well,
I just
I don't know.
it's like Brian it's like Brian pointed it out. It's like Donald Trump. He's just like so deluded that he believes
Brian said this about Aaron.
No, our
Fake
Brian.
news.
Oh,
Brian Jansen said
I
this,
see, I
not
see.
Brian
Not-
Littrell.
not
We
Brian.
I was gonna say, I'm
don't
like, what?
talk to Brian Littrell.
What? Okay.
Shocking.
Not regularly, at least.
So, anyways, yeah. So I felt bad for him, and I did want to do a meet and greet. With his meet and greet was going to be after the show, and then I was like, no.
It's expensive.
Honestly, I feel like he just needs a hug, guys. Like, I feel like I also
We're
like,
cheering in the crowd, and
he
he's
was-
like, "Oh, you're not doing so well. Like it's
Yeah.
so. Like, come on."
you know, when everybody's like, "Oh, cheer more," but he was doing it in more of like an angry
he
way.
was very
like-
angry about
Like,
that.
I feel like, and then when
Oh,
people
that's
weren't knowing the
unfortunate.
words to his newer songs, he was kind of annoyed by that, and I get it and whatever. And then he went
Because
on a
it's been
rant.
streamed millions of times.
Then
How
he
do you
went
not
on
know
a
the
rant
words?
about like how he's the original Justin Bieber, like the OG.
Yeah, it was
and
pretty-
then
oh my God, that was funny,
Then
the
OG was not original gangster. It stands for Ocean Grown.
oh my god, that was amazing.
And he kept saying that, and we're like, okay. And then he was just like, he was kind of. I was
Well,
equal parts like wanting to hug him and wanting to roll my eyes. Like, and I feel really bad for him. And I've said this before when we've talked about him, is that I do feel bad that he is a solo artist, because I feel like solo artists go through a lot more shit than other people. Like, at least if you're in a boy band, there's 4 other people to keep you in check.
Yes.
You're not surrounded by adults and yes men.
Yes.
So that's why so many of these Disney and Nickelodeon stars kind of go,
Yeah.
like the Amanda Bynes, the other people, these things. Like, shit happens because they don't have people their age. They don't have people, their brothers around them. So, and he's been going on a bunch of rants lately, and I know it's really bothering the Backstreet Boys fans that he's saying these things about Nick and stuff and his mom. But honestly, like, just don't feed the fuel. Just let him have his little rant and then just ignore him.
More than that, I don't feel bad for him because I feel like
I feel like he's had a lot of shit happen in his life and no one there to actually be there for him.
okay, and maybe you're
And
right.
like, because he was really
but-
close with Leslie, he was really close with his dad. Like, they both died. Like, there's other things, and obviously Nick also lost Leslie and his father as well. And like,
Like
and
Nick was
Aaron
older
feels
and
like-
had a little bit more
The only
support.
difference I feel is that Nick, if you want to talk about support, Nick had Brian, AJ, Kevin, and Howie.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? To
Exactly.
Yeah.
show him an example of like what not to do, like of
Yeah.
what a normal family looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which is whatever. Because I feel like most of the Carter siblings are effed
Yes.
up. You know what I mean? Like Angel seems okay, but the rest of them,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, and it's just upbringing and like whatever. But I just don't think that Aaron is I mean, he's
Stable.
30 something years old
I
now.
think he just turned 30.
1987.
So he's
December 7,
32.
1987.
So he's 32, or he's turning 32 in December.
Why is this in my brain still?
Because you love him still.
But like he's a 32-year-old man. Like now's the time. If you know you have all of these things wrong with you, then fine. Then I do feel bad for you. But then get professional help. Don't
And I think
sit in your
Doctor.
goddamn
The
garage
doctor's his
and
professional.
talk about how nobody knows anything about you and we're all assholes for thinking that you're this and this and that. You know you have facts now. You're a grown man. Handle your shit. You know what I mean?
All right, fair.
Like, it's a different climate. It's a different world.
And I feel like half
Nobody's
the time
gonna
he
judge
does
you.
have these positive posts, and then one person will say something, and then he goes on this like spirally
Because
rant.
he's bipolar.
And-
But that's fine. And I'm not judging him for that. I'm judging him for not getting help.
yeah.
And more so anyone who's around him for not forcing him to get help. You know what I mean?
Did you guys see that side-by-side picture he had from 2 years ago to this year? Because he still looked pretty sickly, I felt, a little bit there. But when you looked at the picture of him 2 years ago, it was like night and day. So he has been getting help, but he also needs his Twitter taken away from him at times.
Big time.
For sure.
Anyways, for the
Anyways,
most part,
let's
he
move
put
on.
on a pretty good show. And the songs that I liked, I sang along loudly. That's how we beat Shaq. That's all that other stuff. That was
true.
good.
And we sent videos and pictures to Lydia. So
Thank you very much.
that was also
Yes.
a good part.
So next, Lance came out.
Oh my God.
And I love Lance. And he saw that I was in the front, because at this point I was now in the front row somehow. And I was
You
like,
also had a sign.
Those two girls that were in front of us with Deli, I can't remember their names right now, but one is named, I literally can't remember. Anyways, there was two girls in front of us. They were nice. They were with Deli. They had some package of O-Town VIP
because they were
where they got
putting
to
the stuff on the stage.
Yes.
be on stage for the whole O-Town set. So they had left, and so you moved into the front
So I
row,
moved
and
into
then
the front row.
And you had an eye. It's my birthday sign.
Yes, but Lance recognized me, obviously, because I
Obviously,
was
yes.
the one of 4 people in his meet and greet. And, there was another girl, but she was late, but he got to see her anyways. Anyway, so he comes out, and he came out with, I'm going to show you this shirt, even though you
It
can't
is
see
an
it.
audio
see.
podcast.
with your eyes, but you can
It
imagine
is
her seeing
the
it.
Lance Bass Space Camp shirt, which I debated buying, and then I was like, I don't really want to spend that money. So he had the shirt, and he came out, and he was wearing like his Reptar shirt.
Wait,
from-
hang on. Did
Yes.
he introduce Aaron too, right?
He introduced Aaron, yes.
Yeah,
we
so
forgot
this
to
was
mention
his
it.
second time
This
being
was
out,
his second
actually.
time, which ironically ended up being his last time out. He didn't introduce
Yeah, it was
98
weird.
Degrees, but-
98 degrees is weird.
Yeah, anyway, so he came out, and then he was with this shirt, and then I was like, fuck yeah, I want this shirt. It's my birthday. And then Lance was there, and then he saw me, and then I was like, dude.
We were
and
all
then,
pointing at Chinzia.
and then he's like, okay, do you need to let me know what this shirt is from? Do you think I could remember the word Rugrats? I could remember Reptar, because that was all over the shirt. And then everyone's like, Rugrats. I'm like, Rugrats. And he's like, okay. So he threw it at me. It hit the security guard. The security guard gave it to me. So we
I
had
have
it.
video. I put it on our social
So,
media
and then
on Twitter.
the best part about it, though, and I feel like he also gave it to me because I was grilling him about space backstage, so I feel
True.
like that's why. But then, like, it's autographed, and it says, "You're out of this world." Aww. Just like,
That's sweet.
how cute.
That's a good birthday
So
gift.
That was a very good birthday gift. So thank you, Lance. Then O-Town came on, and let me tell you, they killed it.
Yeah, they put on an amazing show.
My favorite part is that because their album just came out, a month ago ish?
In the beginning of August, so
Month
like a
and a
month and a half.
And we've listened to it, and obviously we reviewed it. If you go back 2 episodes, 1 episode,
Yeah,
two
two
episodes. We actually knew all the songs
Yes.
this time, because before we had heard some of the songs, whatever. So we were able to sing along to every song,
gosh.
and it was the best. It
When
was
Giants
so much
came
fun.
on, I sang so hard, like my voice went out. That's how hard I went.
It was so good. And I had mentioned this to the O-Town girls as well, is that when they did Hello World, I liked it so much better in concert because it wasn't as auto-tuned, obviously.
That happens a lot, eh?
And
True.
they had this like arm thing going on, and I think that's when they had
That was
people
better
on
in
stage,
concert.
right?
Yeah.
That's when, like, I feel like there was different levels of O-Town VIP. Pardon me for not knowing what they all are. So those two girls had like obviously the top one where they got to like be on stage for the whole concert. But then there was like obviously a level down where like a bunch of people got to go just for that one song. And then
Be on stage and
Yeah.
like sing with them and record. And
yeah,
stuff
the
like
guys
that.
were like taking selfies and videos and stuff with them, and then it was.
And I was very impressed with how this worked, by the way, because obviously it was a general admission concert, and the girls had done the O-Town VIP, so they were all in the front row. So they left to do this, and obviously I'm like, they're not going to be able to get their spots back, but they did.
Somehow they
Cassie,
did. Yeah.
Who is their I guess the
Handler?
fan tour person.
She's like O-Town's manager.
Yeah.
She's like the Jen Souza.
Yes, exactly. So what Cassie did is that she got at the end, she had them all in a line, and then she told all the people up at the barricade, like, you got to move back, and they were actually able to make their way back to their spots.
Yeah, it was pretty
No
good.
problem.
It was good. Yeah.
It was great. I was just like, wow, I'm impressed.
This would never happen at a Backstreet Boys concert.
No.
Yeah, never. No.
They never do that.
That's true.
No
But it
offense
was,
to
but
them,
I'm just
but they
saying-
just wouldn't.
well, they've done it before.
They had people come on stage, but I believe it was like all seated things.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, inexpensive. But anyways, O-Town show was amazing. Do you have a particular favorite song or anything? Or-
Giants.
Giants, they did really
And
good.
I feel like Trevor and Jacob looked right at me when they were singing because I was like freaking out about this song. So
Yeah, we got a lot of interaction, I felt. Like a lot of like eye looks and stuff like that. So that was
So
good.
I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
I mean, obviously the best part, and if you follow O-Town, particularly on Instagram, they're not super active on Twitter or Facebook.
Did they reply to your traveling pants thing?
No.
Ah, that was so
They,
funny.
I mean,
nobody
they
wore the
are.
pants.
They're more active on Twitter than they are on Facebook. I don't think they use Facebook, but they're not as active on Twitter than I think they are on Instagram. Instagram is like their main thing, and so if you follow them on Instagram, you probably already know that they during the shows where Lance is there during the official Pop.
How did I
2000
forget this part?
I don't know.
tour, they sing 2 NSYNC songs. And then during Bye Bye Bye, Lance comes out and sings Bye 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 with them.
And he does the
So-
dance
we
moves.
obviously already knew this was going to happen.
So I knew this was going to happen.
But it's just when it starts happening, you're just like,
You're freaking out.
So I'm like front row. I have just met Lance. Lance just gave me this shirt. Like I'm very much back in my like NSYNC persona. Yeah. The song they sing before Bye 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 is It's Gonna Be Me, which is again one of my favorite songs of theirs. Mm-hmm. So like as that starts, I was like, oh my God. And then Deli's like, oh, do you know what's gonna happen? Like I'm like, yeah. She's like, have you seen a show with Lance yet? I'm like, no. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I know he's coming out. It's like fine. So then I was okay. And then I started tearing up. And I know these two effers make fun of me when I meet Chris. And then after I leave, I have like a little bit of tears in my eyes, like and I just kind of patted away.
No,
she was bawling her eyes out,
on crying,
and my phone died.
Crying, like I was just like, oh my God. By the time Lance came out, so much liquid was coming out of my eyes that I could not see Lance.
It was crazy.
I was just like. Almost to the point I'm freaking tearing up right now. Just remember,
I'm so glad our friend Deli was there to comfort you because we couldn't comfort you.
We were
couldn't.
too far from Chinzia. She was more closer to Brian, and I don't think he was going to comfort you.
So Deli was there to comfort you.
Brian's like, my God, this broad is crying. Like, what's going on? Josh had made some friends and was
Josh
further
was
back.
long gone.
Yeah, he was long gone.
No, and to be fair, okay, so.
And at one point, I noticed that
Chinzia's
she wasn't
phone
recording.
is-
It's going to be me, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me right now?" And I'm like, "I can't even look right now."
No, me?
Yeah, 'Cause
Yeah.
At one point, your phone broke or something.
Oh, I know. I broke my phone during this time. Anyways, I didn't break my phone.
No,
I
the
just
flippy
broke-
on the
And then I
back.
looked over and I was like,
broke
"Please
the
don't let
ring on the
Sophia be
back.
seeing me." And she was looking forward, so I was like, "Okay." So maybe
Don't worry, I saw her, but she thinks I wasn't.
Listen.
Oh boy.
So I did not notice that Chinzia was crying because legit they started, and then I was like, I posted a little bit of It's Gonna Be Me on our Instagram story, but then I was like, you know what? I need to like properly record this entire thing because Chinzia's gonna fucking kill me. So that I was like, because her phone is not working that great,
and
my phone died.
I was like, she probably just wants to take this in like with her real eyes. I didn't realize she was crying.
I
And
knew.
so I was like, I need to record this so that like whatever. So then I just like got my real camera that would take it like properly so I could like, do the horizontal instead of the vertical where I'm cutting people off, So yeah, I'm doing that. So I'm very focused on that, but also, okay, I'll put that video. I haven't yet because I've been saving it because I'm like, I want to put it up like today when this podcast comes out. But, I want to like But anyways, I apologize for the quality of the video because like what happened was like I was also very excited. So I'm singing along. I broke the ring on the back of my phone in excitement because I was like, right? And then
oh my God, I was dying.
It wasn't like broken, but it was very loose. So now the phone is very jerky. And then literally as soon as Bye 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 started, like I was doing great. As soon as Bye 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 started, and I'm like holding my phone like above my head so that like I can see with my eyes, but I also have like a good line of recording. Friggin' Eric starts singing directly. You will see it in the video directly at me and the camera, and I'm like, "Oh Jesus!" Right? So I was just like, I don't even think he's that attractive, but for some reason I was like, "Oh my God!"
Eric's attractive,
right? He's like, in that moment, I was like, oh my God. Right? So I was like, I can't focus on recording because I don't want to break the eye contact, but also I want to record because Lance is going to come out. And then,
which, by the way, only comes out for the last like part of the song. He doesn't even, is not even there the full time.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there's probably a lot of screaming and singing and bad quality camera work, but it's mostly there. You can mostly see it. It's just jerky and yeah.
And then it was just fucking tears.
And
guys.
then when it was over, I turned to Chinzia because that's the last thing they do, and then they just come back for the encore.
Then they do
right?
All or Nothing.
Yeah, but it's like
I love that
encore.
song.
Like they go away and then
they come back. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then I look at Chinzia,
there's like a bit of a pause.
She's like, literally tears are streaming down her face, and I'm like, have you been crying the whole time? And she's like, as soon as It's Gonna Be Me started, I was crying. And I was like, what the hell? And in this moment is when I realized, like, Chinzia's a big Backstreet Boys fan. She really is. But it's when I realized that I'm like, I keep forgetting that she really was more of an NSYNC fan.
Yeah.
And it showed
She's crying now.
so
She's
much
currently crying.
Like legit.
that
like,
day. And I was like, oh my God,
I'm sorry I didn't video
I
it,
forgot
guys.
too, like, because when I did that interview with Sarah for Refinery 29, Sarah from What Happens on the Backstreet, and I was the NSYNC fan and she was the Backstreet fan, I'm like, oh, I'm a fraud, I'm this, I'm that.
Exactly.
No, guys, like,
She's not a fraud.
I'm a Backstreet
Her
fraud, people.
NSYNC
Like,
fandom came out.
holy crap. If I had gone to that one where Chris did that on stage, I think I also would have lost it more so than this. But I don't know how I could lose it even more.
Oh my gosh.
And because then I was like doing the math in my head and I was like, it's because
Snot
I haven't
coming
like there was
like
no snot.
fountain,
It
like
was
a
just like
water
it was
fountain.
like continuous pouring rain out of my eyes. Like it wasn't even like drops. It was like a whoosh, like in anime videos where like the thing comes down. It's like Niagara Falls.
I did that during my first Aaron Carter concert.
my
I know how
God.
you feel.
I was just like, this is not me. What the heck is happening?
So then I turned to Diane and I'm like, she can never make fun of anyone else crying
Oh
during
my
these
God.
things.
I don't even
I
think
was
she
just
can
like-
make fun of me, like, you know, and how she always makes fun of me because I couldn't talk to Nick like,
Yeah,
at the beginning.
you, like,
at least
you
I
can't.
wasn't bawling.
Right? At least I didn't cry when I met Lance. It was
That's true.
afterwards. But it was just like,
But
wow.
still, it's funny.
Because I haven't seen him I haven't seen Lance perform in 15 years because we saw them at that Challenge for the Children in 2004. And the last actual NSYNC concert was in 2002 or 2001. So it's been like 17
You're
years.
asking the Backstreet Boys.
I'm asking Lydia, and Lydia has no idea.
Lydia
but-
doesn't even know.
you weren't even at that show. It was me and
I wasn't even
no,
at that show.
Sorry, it was me and Olivia. It was in Buffalo. I want to say it was 2002. It was like one of their last shows ever. But yeah, so like 17
Amazing.
years, guys. I'm like,
So
get
does that
back
mean
together.
If they get back together, you're gonna cry as
100%.
well.
I'm gonna get whatever the friggin' top tier of that meet and greet is.
I will lick your
I
face for
don't
$1,000.
care because I will do it because yes,
Yeah.
like wow.
So that was a pretty good moment as well.
It was, and I'm just like, so then O-Town comes back on her singing All or Nothing, and I still have the residual tears, and I was just like, Jesus, now O-Town thinks I'm crying over All or Nothing, and I'm like, not that they would
It is a
care.
song.
And I
It's a
and
somber
I feel like it
song.
goes with the song.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like, we fit together and crying. Like, but it was just like,
Liquid dreams.
liquid dreams in my eyes. Like, it was just like, yeah. So
Oh, God.
No, and I really like the mix of the new O-Town songs, the other hits. They had Playing with Fire, which is one of my favorite ones from, I want to say that was the Lines and Circles album.
I think so.
Possible.
Yeah, I think
The
so.
one,
they had-
whatever the one before this one
Yes,
was.
so they had like a lot. It was a good high energy show. They had good matching,
Good mixture of
outfits, right?
songs.
Were they the ones who were with the red and black and white?
No, that was 98 Degrees.
Okay, somebody it looked good, and I was just
I wasn't
like,
really paying
and
attention
they're
to their
all kind of,
outfits
like,
because they had a good show
Neutral
going on.
colors, like no one
Yeah.
had like. I mean, there was a bit
Shooter
of
pants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah, no, they did a really
So
good job.
thumbs up for O-Town.
O-Town,
Yes.
You
I
killed
would
it.
100% go see O-Town again.
For
and
sure.
Someone DM'd us, and so if you're wondering, yes, Eric is wearing a Justin Bieber shirt. It was.
Really?
Yes.
So we're like, oh,
Don't show Aaron.
don't show Aaron.
Literally.
Because I was dying at that. Because he was wearing like a stupid like
Baseball
baseball
uniform.
ensemble, and then he took off the thing, and it was just the Justin Bieber shirt. So yeah, so that was that.
That's an interesting choice.
Yes,
Eric's
it
an
was.
interesting guy.
I see.
So when 98 Degrees came out, it was like full-on production show. Like they had like a video intro.
It kind of reminded me of
It was
BSB's
like-
intro.
it
Like,
had-
wow, these guys have money.
It was very entertaining. And we're just like, oh, look at them. And they had all their different albums and their songs and stuff like that.
They had someone else doing their DJ
Yes.
laptop
Because
thing.
also O-Town
What?
also played their own Oh no, did the fans do the laptop or did
It was Eric.
They started
well,
Did
I
one
think
of
they
them.
started it
And then
so
Eric-
they could come out.
Yeah, Eric
and
did
then
it at one
they-
point as
usually
well.
Jacob presses the buttons too. So like, which kudos to them. Kudos to them for like going out there and doing their shit.
No, for sure. I just
No,
it was
for
like
sure, absolutely.
It was weird after.
Yes. So then 98 Degrees comes out with this whole like big showy thing.
I want my baby. I want
And
my
they come
honey.
out, like,
So many and like an entire like entourage of people. We were like,
we're
whoa.
just like, what is going
They
on?
make money.
But
Who's
yeah,
on the
no,
payroll?
I thought they also, because then I was also concerned that I wouldn't know enough 98 Degree songs, but I would say I knew
I
about
think I knew pretty much.
pretty much 3/4 or
Yeah,
more. of their
98%.
songs.
They sang a lot of their
98%.
not their own songs, which I think helped.
Yes.
Um,
The
One moment was with
the Moana song.
The
Is
Moana
that what
song.
we're
Oh my god, I love that
so
part.
when we went to go see 98 Degrees at Christmas, they did a You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, and they had like these stupid like facial expressions and like cheesiness. They did the exact same thing
They're
with this
having a
Moana
good
song. And it's
time.
just like they just kind of like dance across the stage and do like
was funny.
like so they have these
It
like
was
funny.
great.
They're very funny, and I like that. They definitely don't have as much dancing ability as other boy bands.
no, but you know what I respected the most? I did like their sense of humor and their like poking fun at themselves and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because but I also really respected the fact that they own the fact that a lot of 98 Degree songs are ballads and
Yeah.
slower in nature, and therefore they don't dance. And they admitted that about themselves. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
good.
know you're boring. Awesome.
Well, what's good about them is they have their 4 microphones up, and then they just kind of make sure that they each get to each part of the stage, so you get a good balance of all the boys. It's not like Nick Lachey is just in the center the entire time. In fact, Justin was very into the eye contact. Did he have eye
Yes.
contact
Yeah.
with you
He
guys?
sure
as
did,
well?
buddy. He sure
I feel
did.
like I got a bit
Jeff,
of Drew
I
and
got a little bit of Jeff
Jeff
as well. No Nick though.
Yeah. But it was like, it was good. And what I loved about them is, I can't remember which song it was, but they brought out 4 stools and then they brought 4 fans on stage, and one of the girls was
oh,
Rula.
I didn't know that
She
song.
threw up?
No, Rula was the girl that I had
Oh
met.
my god, I thought you said, and she threw up.
I had met her at the
One
Lance
of the
thing,
girls
and her
was
2 friends.
Rula.
Rula.
And then her 2 friends, and then another girl. But like the one girl who was directly in front of me, I was like, "This is my spirit animal girl." Like,
Oh, that girl was a
with the
champ.
glasses.
Oh
she
my
was just
gosh,
like-
with Drew, I loved it.
oh, they were like singing, and then
were-
everybody
he was,
was
like,
like
twirling
singing
her.
along,
It was
and then they
amazing.
like got them up and dance, and they all kind of switched,
Oh
so they
my
all had
God,
their
I
moment.
loved it.
So you know, like sometimes the boy band just picks the one boy band member there.
yeah.
They switched it all up.
As
They
you
sang to
should.
them.
It
They
was
just-
so great.
It was. I'm like, this is my dream now. I would like to be serenaded on stage.
Who
at a 98
doesn't?
Degrees
I would
concert.
also like to have this.
And it was like
Me
it was
too.
good moments. Like,
Yes.
so I think we Facebook Live that one.
No,
Possibly.
I just recorded it. I can put that up too. Josh asked me to record it for his boyfriend.
Yes.
It was I can't remember the song, but it was one that I wasn't like super familiar with. But I
Was
had
it the hardest part?
no. I would know that song. It's a song that wasn't
I
like super
recognize the
super
song,
popular.
I recognized it too, but I don't remember.
I think I recognized it, but it wasn't one that I could like sing along with the verses. You know what I mean?
Was it like faster?
No,
No,
it was
slow.
like
It was slow.
what's the one that's like you are my everything?
I think that's it. My
Yes,
everything.
that's
but
the one,
what
yeah.
is that song called?
My everything.
Okay, good. That's the one.
Perfect.
And I only
Yes.
know the chorus. I don't
Is
know
that
how
that
the
your
verses
spirit
go.
puts me
Don't
through?
know everything?
Nope, apparently not.
I made a
Not
sunshine
you.
after the rain one for.
Oh,
I
I
know
love
that
that
was
one.
cute.
Really
Yeah.
cute. I don't know if any of them saw it. Probably Justin, because I feel like he
I
was
feel
looking
it,
at
or
us.
Jeff. I feel like Jeff
Was he
saw
having
it.
a moment with Deli? One of them had a moment with
Yes,
Deli.
Deli.
Justin?
Justin had a
Yeah.
moment with Deli. Yeah.
He was just like singing to her and stuff. So I thought it was, honestly, I thought they put on a really good show.
I thought they put on a
liked
good
it.
show.
I would
I enjoyed
definitely
it.
go see them again as well. Just not at a Christmas
It's our second
concert.
time technically in a year seeing them.
That's true. That is true.
We're like becoming 98
Although
Degrees
we saw
fans.
them
just
at
like,
New
I
Kids on the
just
Block when they
love boy
opened for New
bands.
Kids on the Block.
As we know.
98
said-
Degrees opened for New Kids on the Block, so we saw them at that time too.
That was a few years ago, I think.
But that was many years ago, and I did not. So
You didn't see that one?
nope.
Oh, that was a good show.
It was a
It
good
was
show.
a very good show. Yes.
That's when I won tickets.
It didn't take me.
I
now
took
I
Lydia.
remember.
I took Lydia. Because you didn't like New Kids on the Block at
Was
that time.
that the one where I bought a meet and greet for them?
Yeah, and then
Yes.
you went with Olivia.
No, I went by myself.
No, but there's another one where you went with Olivia.
Probably.
Because I took Lydia.
That's
at
when
the
she
time.
went with the radio station.
I don't know. You went lots of times.
Did. I do like boy bands a lot. In case
Shocking.
anyone has not noticed in the 50 some odd episodes.
On a
But,
boy
like,
band podcast, you're talking
I
about
just
loving
felt
boy
like it was a
bands?
nice mix, like the O-Town and the 98 Degrees. I was just like, this is like a nice mix of like the second level of boy band, kind of like, obviously it wasn't as
Second level.
It wasn't
Burn.
as intense
Ow,
as
I was
like
like
a
a
Backstreet
B,
Boys
B?
concert, right? But
Like
I'm
a
like,
B
I just
plus.
enjoy the fact that I could have these two boy bands performing, and it could be in a festival. And then I started reminiscing about our boy band festival. I was like, we really need to have a boy band festival.
We really do.
Give us money.
Shiz. I feel like it helped a lot. That we reviewed that O-Town album.
Yes, because I'm like, now I
And
know all the
B,
words. I can sing.
That we were like so close.
Yes.
Exactly, because that's my main two things at concerts: be as close as humanly possible to get eye
What?
contact,
You never.
and to know the words so I can sing along. So I figure because of those two things, it just made it that much of a better experience. I
Yes,
enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it as well. 2 thumbs up.
Woo!
I enjoyed you sending me video of it. Thank you.
All right. Well, with that, I feel like we can wrap up. I think that was pretty extensive.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.